Welcome, dear friends, to our time of devotional reflection for Tuesday, June the 13th, 2023. I'm Brian J. Munro, pastor of Kitimat First Baptist Church in beautiful Kitimat, British Columbia. And this year we are following John MacArthur's devotional book, Drawing Near, Daily Readings for a Deeper Faith. Today's entry is entitled, Speaking from a Pure Heart. Those who consider themselves religious and yet do not keep a tight rein on their tongues deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless. James chapter 1, verse 26. Our main thought today, friends, is that your speech reveals the condition of your heart. Pastor MacArthur writes, in verse 22, James talked about the delusion of hearing the word without obeying it. Here he talks about the deception of external religious activity without internal purity of heart. That's a common deception. Many people confuse a love for religious activity with love for God. They may go through the mechanics of reading the Bible, attending church, praying, giving money, or singing songs, but in reality, their hearts are far from God. That kind of deception can be very subtle. That's why James disregards mere claims to Christianity and confronts our motives and obedience to the Word. Those are the acid tests. James was selective in the word he used for religious, rather than using the common Greek word that spoke of internal godliness. He chose a word that referred to external religious trappings, ceremonies, and rituals, things that are useless for true spirituality. He focused on the tongue as a test of true religion because the tongue is a window to the heart. As Jesus says, the mouth speaks out of that which fills the heart. That's from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 34. Corrupt speech betrays an unregenerate heart. Righteous speech demonstrates a transformed heart. It doesn't matter how evangelical or biblical your theology is, if you can't control your tongue, your religion is, as James says, useless. You can learn much about a person's character if you listen long enough to what that person says. In the same way, others learn much about you as they listen to what you say. Do your words reveal a pure heart? Remember Paul's admonition to let no unwholesome word proceed from your mouth, but only such a word as is good for edification, according to the need of the moment, that it may give grace to those who hear. That's from Paul's letter to the Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 29. Make that your goal each day so you can know the blessing and grace of disciplined speech. Dear friends, I thank you so much for taking a few moments out of your day each day to listen to a devotional reflection as written by Pastor John MacArthur and read by myself. It really means a lot to me that you're here listening to this. I've taken Pastor MacArthur's suggestions for prayers and for further study from this devotional reflection, and I've included them in the description portion of this video so that you can follow his suggestions and do the additional reading that he recommends and answer the questions that he asks. All of this to your great benefit as you follow Jesus Christ as one of his disciples. And until we can be together again tomorrow to hear another devotional reflection from Pastor MacArthur, I bid you go in the peace of the Lord.